what that means, the aims, objections, the partnership, creation of specific matchmaking possibilities, you know, the kind of things that we in the diaspora really want if we are to deal with Africa development, especially in terms of investment. You'll be told where exactly the investments are going and who is behind most of this. With me in the studio is Mary Njonjo, and she's a business development director of CICL, that is Connect Integrated Company Limited. She's also an entrepreneur, and she's going to give us a brief or details about what today's program is going to be all about. And somewhere here in London is Lydia, and she will join us as we go along on Zoom. Can you say hello to our listeners, Lydia?
Yeah, hi everybody. I hope you can all see me. Yeah. Once again, you know, today I'm supposed to be in the studio, but I'm truly sorry that I'm not in the studio. It's we had a very bad accident in the Blackwell Tunnel, and the traffic was massive. But because of the lady who is in the studio today, I was like, this program has to go on.
A special lady.
The studio, but I'll be on Zoom. But because of Mary Njonjo, I was like, this program has to go on. And it's not just because of Mary Njonjo, it's actually the reason why she's in the studio. The initiative behind what she's trying to do, or what she is doing for us, especially as Kenyans. We really appreciate what she's bringing for us. And that's why, traffic or not traffic, we're here today to do this.
The program has to go. Mary Njonjo, could you introduce yourself and tell us what you do? Tell us what Kenyan Trade 24 Trade Investment UK Trade Mission 24 is all about, in brief anyway.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
So my name is Mary Njonjo. I'm the Business Development Director of CICL UK. So in full, that is Connect Integrated Company UK Limited.
Okay.
We are based at the Financial District of London, that is Canary Wharf. And my background has always been in real estate. But since 2023, I diversified into other sectors. So in line with that, you know, we decided we saw a huge gap in the market, you know, that Kenya needs to be a bit more visible, you know, in the international market, because we are well known when it comes to, you know, investments. Actually, we are now being called the Silicon of Africa.
Of Africa in Kenya.
Yes.
So you're taking over from South Africa.
Yes. So really it's just to showcase the opportunities, the investment opportunities Kenya has to offer. And we know that there is a huge appetite to invest in Kenya from the international market.
I didn't introduce myself by the beginning of the program. I was introducing everybody else. Stephen Malindu is my name, by the way, and I do a program called Africa Speaks on this station. If we were to go in a little bit further in some kind of details regarding the mission itself, what are expectations that Kenyans and those here in the diaspora are expecting once they get to Kenya? The kind of things that are going to take place there. The expectation has always been high. So what is expected when you get there? Is the government going to welcome them with both hands? Is business people there trying to? I mean, there's a lot of competition in Africa, and there is a lot that, you know, always happens. But somebody who's traveling with this kind of delegation, what is he expected to find?
Right. First of all, our company, the company deals with what we primarily are set up to do is connect investors with investment opportunities. So in line with this, we found it fit to actually, you know, bring the investors and the opportunities under one roof. You know, in order just to accelerate the, you know, the in general trade and investment. So it is a conference that is being organized by CICL UK, but in collaboration with the Kenyan High Commission, the British Chamber of Commerce in Nairobi. We have Ken Invest. It is the mandated body that deals with investments in Kenya. We have Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Yeah.
We have, of course, the State Department of Diaspora, and we also have Ministry of Trade and Industry. So we are working in collaboration with them.
Yeah.
In order to deliver a very successful event. So what do we expect so it depends. If you're going to come in as a delegate, there's certain specific things you would be looking for. Probably you'd be looking to network, form new partnerships. If you're coming in as a sponsor, you're looking at showcasing what you actually, what your company does. So, and also maybe creating visibility for your company. So, and also maybe forming new business partnerships. And remember, in this particular trade mission, we are very, very keen on matchmaking these companies. So if you deal with manufacturing in the UK, then what we are doing is ensuring that if you go to Kenya, we've already found a partner, whom you can start engaging with in manufacturing.
And create a partnership,
Correct. Yes. So I think this is gonna be big because we've got very good responses currently. Yes.
Lydia, I want to bring you in. When you look at what is going to happen in Kenya, when you look at all the details in regards to trade and missions, you've done this before with the insurance company and with others. How do you see this? Which side will this go in terms of success or difficulties or anything?
First of all, I just want to say congratulations once again to Mary for taking this up. This is a big hammer to take up. It's and I also I'll still ask Mary questions, but I feel like what Mary used to, when she started, when I knew her, she used to be in that one, just that one sector. But the fact that she's now opened up and she's bringing other different developers under one roof, that is a plus. And I would say that especially in diaspora, we are so used to just investing in brick and mortar. Everybody brick and mortar. Every single person will hear, I have a house here, I have a house. But what Mary is doing, and that's why I know it's going to be a big success, she's brought other sectors of investors. So she's brought agriculture, she's brought agricultural industry, she's brought the financial sector, she's brought hospitality sector, she's brought all the other sectors under one roof. That's why I know it's going to succeed, because this is not something that's been done before. We've always concentrated on developers, we've always concentrated on brick and mortar. But now she's actually opening the market for everybody, because sometimes I am not very comfortable in investing in this one particular sector. So Mary, what she's doing right now is bringing me different choices for me to make. Okay, if I can't invest here, I can invest here. And then also sometimes in one investment, I have to actually put down a lot of money. Maybe I don't have that money. So if I don't have a lot of money in this sector, then maybe let me start with this sector. So I really applaud Mary for what the initiative she's bringing on the table, and that's why I know that it's going to work. But I just want to ask Mary, she lives in the UK, so why Kenya? Why Kenya?
Thank you, Lydia. Why Kenya is, it has so many reasons why Kenya. Maybe let me start with, the position Kenya is, where it's positioned itself. So it's the gateway to East Africa. And most of the multinational companies have moved to Kenya. You might want to ask yourself why. So Kenya has opened up to do business and is really ready to do business. So if you look at the current administration, they have lowered the taxes, they've given tax breaks, they've given incentives and made the environment very conducive. We even have now sectors that have been set aside for just trade and investment. Special economic zones that have come up now. For people who know the area of Two Rivers, we know around that area there's a special economic zone. So let me say the environment is very conducive to do business right now.
In Kenya.
Yes.
The thing is as a journalist who's been covering politics most of my time, the index of corruption in Kenya is less than most of Africa. Maybe this is another area whereby I would say it's easier to invest in Kenya because of, I'm not saying completely that there's no corruption there, but the index that, when you go to other parts of Africa, Nigeria, Nigeria, Uganda, and so on, you're going to find that the index of that, and maybe this is what was hindering the development, but Kenya is very different because that index is not as much, and acceptance of what people are more acceptable in doing what the kind of business that they're doing. So maybe that also has an impact.
Thank you for that, but also remember Kenya technologically it's advanced, quite advanced. Actually, most of the government services you can access them through your phone. You know, they have removed all these cartels and all these processes.
The third parties,
yes, correct. So now myself, if I want to even go to the lands ministry, maybe I want to find out something about maybe my title deed. All I have to do is just log into the a portal called the eCitizen. So that has really helped, even for us in the diaspora. Now you don't need to call your lawyer, solicitor, do this for me on my behalf. So it has become much easier. Technology has really changed.
Okay, Lydia, could you come in on this as well? Because it's one of those things that maybe you probably have some past experience on.
I think, like what Mary has said, Kenya is now a gateway of civilization and gateway of investment and gateway of advanced technology as well. As we know that Kenya holds the most technology as well, more than the whole of Africa, even though we have the giants of Africa as Nigerians. But Kenya, where we're going economically, we're really thriving. And what I just wanted to ask Mary as well, I know this investment or this event is happening in Kenya, but are you opening opportunities? Two questions. Are you opening opportunities for those people who are also not Kenyans, for foreigners to invest as well? That's one. And then two, if it's a foreign company that is based in the UK, are you also giving them a platform to bring their company to Kenya so that also Kenyans can actually invest through them if they wanted to? So those two questions, Mary.
Yeah, so Lydia, yes, both of your questions, it's a yes. So we are welcoming our brothers and sisters, Uganda, Rwanda, East and Central Africa. They are happy. If one wants to come to this delegation, we are more than happy to have them on board. So it is not specifically for Kenyans. It is just for international investors. Anyone who wants to invest in Kenya or who has an interest to invest in Kenya. Yes. So, and yes, Lydia, we have several British companies that are going to that are coming to this mission. Yes. So it's yes.
The issue of tourism is a major one, and it has gained Kenya a lot of reputation, a lot of money over the years, because the companies that have been in tourism are massively here, and there's a lot of joint partnership between Kenyan companies and British companies and American companies. The people who go to Kenya to see the wildlife, and there is a lot. The market of also handcrafts which are done in Kenya is another massive one. Now the thing you mentioned, partnership at the beginning with the companies, the various companies. How easy is it going to be if a Ugandan now wants to go to Kenya and create a partnership with somebody in Kenya? Do we need a third person, like the government getting involved, somewhere in these deals? Because when the tourism was booming at this stage, the government started getting involved as well. Could this be a similar thing?
I think it's important to have the government involved. Reason being, and that's why we have the Ken Invest.
Oh yeah.
That is what they are
and the
mandated
Kenyan
actually to
and
do.
Kenyan Chamber of Commerce as well, and all the others. Yeah.
Yes. So they assist very much when it comes to things like follow-up.
Yeah.
And also ensuring that our investors are not also duped.
Oh right. Yeah.
So they bring a lot of credibility and ensure that these partnerships are done properly. Using the right regulations and guidance. Yes. So tourism is actually, because on this trade mission, what we have is the conference for 3 days.
Okay.
And after the 3 days, we realized many people were asking, do you have another package like tourism?
Yeah.
Then we decided to come up with a tourism package. Okay. So what we have is a 2-night, 3-day safari to Mount Kenya.
Okay.
So the Mount Kenya region. For those who have never seen Mount Kenya, it's a sight to behold.
I know.
That place is just
wonderful.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. With the snow.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Almost at the equator. Yeah.
Yes. For people who want to see the other side of the equator, so this would be the perfect chance. Yeah, and I've seen that the bookings on the tourism is way more even than the conference. So it shows you that people still want to consume what Kenya can offer in terms of tourism. Yeah.
Lydia.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to ask Mary as well. What is the because I know it's a 3 days conference from the 1st to the 3rd of October.
Yes.
So I've never been to Kenya. I don't know anything about Kenya. I've seen this conference happening. I want to come. Do you have anything in place that is going to help your first timers? And then again, after the event, you've rightfully say that you've answered that question. What happens after the 3 days? Do they want to extend? And then also the tourist company that you're working with, are they the ones that you're partner with? So to promote local tourism as well. So that is, I just wanted to know that.
Yeah, so we've partnered. Lydia, if you're living far away, there is no other way you can work with a company that is overseas. You have to partner in one way or another. So yes, we've partnered with a local company in Kenya that is responsible for organizing the whole safari. Yeah. I don't know, Lydia, if I've answered your question.
Yeah, the other one I was asking is, if I'm not a Kenyan,
yes.
Not sometimes when you're going to places, sometimes when you're going places, you have somebody to either show you around, somebody to take you around, like, when you come here. Yes. Okay. So do you have something like that? If somebody has never been to Kenya and they're very skeptical because of just that reason, I've never been, I hear all these bad things, sometimes they say, of good things they say, I don't know, do you have that in place, like, for your first timers who are coming for the conference, but they also want to extend their stay?
Yes, so Lydia, what we've done is for transport, just from Jomo Kenyatta Airport all the way to the venue or to the accommodation, we've engaged a certain transport company. For the trip to Mount Kenya, we've also engaged another company. So what happens is, after the conference, for the people who registered to go to the safari, they will be under the company.
Okay.
The tour operator. So from tour guides, they take over literally until the day they bring you back to the venue or back to the airport, if maybe you're traveling back to the UK. So there is no any one time that you are on your own.
Okay.
Yes. So there will always be someone to guide you. Personally, I'm traveling to Kenya a week before the conference kicks off, just to ensure that
everything goes as planned.
Yes, goes to plan.
The budget for the entire organization and all that, and the sponsors.
Yes.
Maybe this is the time to tell us who the sponsors are, or talk about them, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because these issues don't just happen on.
Yes.
There has to be some. They don't come from space.
I think Steve, before she talks about the sponsors, I know probably this question could have come first, but I'm always intrigued. I'm always intrigued by powerful women, or maybe let's say humans, before some say, oh, you're always lying on women, and feminists, not. But I'm so much intrigued with women who want to make a change. It's so important, because we live in a community or society that we complain a lot. We just say all the time, oh, so and so did, so and so did not do. But what are you doing to make a change? What are you doing to bring a different narrative on the table?
Yes.
So I just wanted to ask Mary, what initiated this? What actually initiated this? Did she see a lack in the market, or what? So before she can answer the first part, I just wanted to ask that, because I'm so intrigued that why somebody just thinks, okay, let me do a conference like this in Kenya and bring all these different investors.
So Lydia, thank you so much. That question I think was overdue. I'm a product of market expansion.
Okay.
So we expanded from Kenya to the UK. So we had the headquarters in Kenya, but we expanded into the UK.
Yeah.
So we set up a subsidiary company here in the UK. I'm the one who was leading it. And within 5 years, I think Lydia can attest to that, is we were able to penetrate into the UK market. So it was from zero in Kenya penetrating into a new market.
Okay.
So we successfully penetrated into the UK market. So during my tenure with this particular real estate company, I was able to travel a lot to many cities, over 47 cities. I remember when there's one time I traveled with Lydia to, which country was it? Is it Italy? I think, was it Italy? It was Italy. Yes, so I crisscrossed also Europe, you know, and all that. So I came to understand what the diaspora wants. And also I came to understand what the Kenyan market needs. So during my, you know, my travel and my days, you know, going intercities, I would just hold normal talks with just different people.
Okay.
Even one time on a plane, and I was talking to a gentleman, an Irish gentleman who is a big investor. And, you know, I asked him, you know, in Africa, which are the three top countries you would invest in? Kenya came up.
Yeah.
But there was a but.
Okay.
Which I will not go into.
Ah.
Then I also got another experience from someone different, someone totally different, about a couple of months down the line. Again, same question. Which are the three top countries you would invest in Africa? This time, this person said they went into Kenya and they were successful. They have a factory, they do avocado, they process avocado, and I think they are able to get the end product as oil, avocado oil, and that is what now they export. So again, the third time, I told you it was 3 times. Again, I talked to someone else at a very different setting, and this person was just expressing frustration of how he wants to invest. If he was to invest, he would invest in Kenya. You know, so I asked myself, so what is this? What is, you know, what, are we doing enough? What's this? What is this that I'm seeing? Are we doing enough to, you know,
push the investment?
Yes, because Kenya has this good standing in the international market. We have this good, you know, honestly, I don't know if you know, but personally, it's through the feedback I've got over the years.
Okay.
So, Lydia, to answer your question is, I realized that people want to invest, but they do not have a structured way of how do you start, where do you start, and it really bothered me.
Fear,
and
the fear factor.
Yeah, the fear. I mean, this is a foreign market. I'm not lying to you. When I was coming to the UK to, you know, to set up business in the UK, I had a lot of fear and obviously, and, you know, doubts and will I make it? Did we waste the company's capital coming in here? You'll have all that. So the same fear would happen to the same investor who is in the UK, who is trying to get into
Kenyan market.
Yes, into a Kenyan market. So I looked around and I saw that we don't have a company that is real, apart from now what we have, you know, the Kenyan High Commission.
Yeah.
The private sector, we didn't have anything taking care of this need. And I saw the gap. It was so wide. Because right now I feel, you know, that we are addressing this gap. So that's in 2023 when we decided now to set up. So I moved away from now real estate and diversified into now other sectors, because I realized it's not only real estate, but there are many other sectors: agriculture, health, tech, finance, many other sectors that people want to invest in. And I also realized the opportunities are there in Kenya. There's so many, the bankable projects that they call. There's so many. So I thought to myself, how can I get these two people together?
Yeah.
This is the investment opportunity. This is the investor. I am where the investors are.
You're in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
How do I connect these two people? And that is what brought about the Trade Mission 2024.
So you sold the
So
idea.
you actually managed to bridge the gap between the Kenya and the UK. And I know it's not just Kenya and UK, it's globally. It's actually globally. But I'm impressed that you used the focus group to implement what was missing in the market. So well done. As they say that knowledge is power, but it's only power if it's implemented.
Yes.
So thank you for putting that into practice.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
So Steve.
Yeah. But I think somewhere along the way, my question has always been, when you're putting these whole things together, money comes in, the budget comes in, and then you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, there isn't a huge worry that I'm using a lot of money, as you are saying with the investment. Is it going to come out? Will it succeed? Do I need some particular sponsors to do this, and so on and so forth? These are the kind of things that people like us and other people probably want to learn. And if you're going to go in wholesale as one individual, you could get a punch in the face. But briefly, in short, if there is anything that we can learn from that as well.
What I can tell you is the course. The course has to be a good course. If the course is a good course, yes. So if you get that right, whoever you approach and tell them, look, this is what we want to achieve. The rest is easy. So the course has to be right.
Okay.
And it has to be on point.
There is also something called experience, which most of these huge people, even with investors, if you ask somebody and you start thinking, they probably start looking at experiences that one has gone through and said, okay, am I taking a risk? Am I doing this? Has this person ever had this kind of experience before? Now, have you been in that sort of situation where you've organized this before?
I'm well known in the UK in organizing events, business-related events. So I've launched some of, the top companies, real estate companies in Kenya, in the UK successfully. So by launching, what I mean is, bringing them right into the market. So what we normally do is would organize an event and attract maybe about 300 people, business people there, and have maybe the management team travel from Nairobi, and who would showcase their products, and after that I would be left now doing some follow-ups and whatnot. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to myself. I told you I'm a product of market expansion. Yes. So I think I have learned myself a lot of things in the journey of market expansion. So we started from, and one thing I must applaud actually the British government is the fact that they have a route, and I hope Kenya can adapt this as well. They have a route whereby if you're here to invest genuinely, the route is as clear as day and night.
Of course.
And it's from A to B to Z. From the day you arrive on visa up to British until you get your British passport. So the route is very clear. So they encourage anyone who is investing genuinely without any form of a criminal record or anything, they are able to even get the citizenship of this country. So this is a huge incentive. So if we can also replicate probably the same in Kenya, because there are people who just want to go and live in other countries.
I think the president is trying to do that with the East African visas and all that, and the structure which is now set. With the estates that are being built, you are in real estates now, and there's a lot of housing which is happening. And investors could come in and invest in housing in Kenya. And I was going through some of the things, and I was saying, wow, the housing projects that have mushroomed around Nairobi and going to other parts of Kenya, it's quite very interesting, because that area alone will bring in people. Because if someone has nowhere to stay, if somebody has bought a flat there, or someone has bought, even Ugandans are running in. I mean,
Yes.
I'm from Uganda, and we don't have such a structure ourselves. It's there probably, but not in a kind of a numbers where it's being supported by like the Kenyan government
Yes.
does. You see.
Yeah.
So oh, go ahead. She wants to say something.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to say, somebody, I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for everybody who has logged in, some people who are watching. And this is just some few questions to Mary, but you can write it down, because I'll ask mine as well. So somebody is asking, what are the packages and the Mount Kenya Safari, is it included in the package?
What are
So
the
that is one.
The package.
And yeah, the packages. And then someone also say, which UK-based companies are on board, and what investment opportunities do we expect with the oncoming event? Based on the current unemployment situation in Kenya, do we expect the event to create opportunities to the youth, and how? So that is another question. Did you get that, Mary, or should I repeat it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so those are two questions. But before you can answer, I just want to again come back to say I've worked with you, or I've seen you work a lot, and the fact that people always mistake cheap to be the best.
Yeah.
And I know that cheap can be very, very expensive. Cheap is expensive, so guys, don't be fooled that, if Mary comes to the product, and maybe that product is 3 million, this is just me giving an example, and another product is 1 million, let me run to the 1 million because it's cheap. Cheap is always expensive. And me knowing Mary, I know she said that she brought companies from the UK, and she's done, from Kenya to the UK, she's done an event for them, investment event, and it's been a success. Some of them have been a witness, and they've been successful. And to you, Mary, I would say it's also because you stayed your course. You're focused on what you're doing. You stayed your course. You're not here and there and everywhere else. Like, let me say me, I'm everywhere. But you stayed your course, and you managed to have a successful story. You managed to change this for us. And that's why, personally, I am so happy to even follow you in Kenya, to be there, to do all this, because I know that your story, you're carrying a success story. So my question would be, to add on to the questions that have been asked on here, someone also said another question, how do you guarantee investor security if one invests in Kenya? So that's 3 questions, Mary. And my one would be, what are the barriers or restrictions that you faced, especially having to do this event for the first time in Kenya? Thank you.
Because she put
Okay,
quite
thanks,
a lot of questions
that's
in
fine.
front
It's
of you.
okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
She could-
Yeah.
yes, but they're very tough questions. What do you want to do to her? What do you want to do today? No. What do you want to do to her? You're not supposed to do that to her.
No, it
you
won't
know?
break me. At least it won't break me. So I'm going to start with the first questions, how to guarantee investor security. So Lydia, we are working in collaboration with government bodies, so with bodies like Ken Invest. So they, usually, if an investor would come and invest in Kenya, for example, part of the delegation, if they invest in Kenya, the people who would take over or who would, do the main follow-up would be Ken Invest. So the guarantee here we are offering is that the government is a part of this. So, and of course we never talk about guarantees, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, but what we're saying is any investor is safe.
As long as the insurance is available. And she's an insurance person. Yeah, no.
So I'm going to go to the second question of what are the packages we are offering. I'm not sure whether it was under the sponsorship, but let me talk about the packages on the safari. So for the packages on the safari, it's about 700 sterling for 3 days, including transport, full board accommodation, all fees at the National Game Reserve. So there is an itinerary for it. So I don't know, Lydia, whether you will give the links to to the itinerary so that people can just view it. Is that possible? Maybe to drop the link I had shared with you earlier, so that
I'll do that on the section, the comment section.
Yes, please. And also you can also drop them the Trade Mission link so that they can get more information on the conference. Which brings me now to the next question, which was which UK companies are coming on board. So we have focused on around 9 sectors. So agriculture, health, technology, finance, real estate. Hope I'm not forgetting another one. Real estate. Let me check.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. Health, education.
Manufacturing.
Yes, manufacturing, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, so 9 sectors. So if, again, for the person who asked that question, we can drop them a link and they can look at the whole concept of the entire conference. Someone has asked, what about the opportunities for employment? I'm happy to report that we have one company actually from one of the islands in UK that is going to specifically offer jobs. Yes, in Wales. So, and also remember, when there's economic stimulation in an economy, that is when job opportunities also arise. Yes. So the whole idea is to ensure that there is business and investments happening, because employment comes in alongside
investment. What people have invested in.
Exactly. Yeah. So those are your 4 questions, Lydia.
You answered. You happy?
Yes. Yes. There's only one that you've not answered. I think that was for myself. What are the barriers or restrictions that you're facing, especially this being that it's your first event in Kenya? Are there any barriers or any restrictions or any hurdles that you had to jump?
I must say I'm receiving a lot of support from the Kenyan High Commission here, and I really want to really especially thank Ambassador Waroe for what he's really doing. He's really embraced especially anything economic change to our country. So I also want to thank the other company, the other government bodies I'm in collaboration with. But Lydia, whenever you're doing something, there will always be challenges.
Yeah, of course.
There'll always be challenges. For example, convincing Kenyan businesses that, hey, you can transfer your knowledge to our motherland. It's something that it's a new conversation, but we need to keep this conversation going.
With the skilled labor, and because most of Africa needs skilled labor, and skilled labor is the one that disappears for quickly because of the green pasture. They have to go. So that structure alone has its, there are so many doubters, and because of the doubters and thinking that they will do better in Britain or in Australia or somewhere else, that convincing somebody about that, and with investment, who is a Kenyan or Ugandan and so on, having had their problem, their hands burnt by relatives and so on, it becomes extremely difficult. That's what I'm saying. You've really pulled it off. To manage them to go and even attend itself would be a big achievement, because most of them wouldn't really think in terms of...
To be honest, this is the first time this is being done in terms of, asking the Kenyan businesses to go. Yes, and telling them, hey, you can go and partner with the other Kenyan companies.
Exactly.
So, like I said, it won't be smooth sailing, but we're up to the challenge and to the task. So like I said, we'll keep encouraging people. Like I told you 6 years ago, when I first came here, I never knew that I would probably, reach where
the level where you are.
Yes, correct. So you need to start with the first step and keep going. So Lydia, I cannot say it's been, remember, I'm also dealing with, I've always done events in Kenya, in the UK, so that has made things a lot easier. So now I'm doing an event in Nairobi, but I am organizing from the UK. So obviously there are those, but technology has also come to help a lot. So Zoom, virtual meetings all the time. So yes,
it comes in very handy. Do you have some kind of a say, look, since this is the first one, when you do the second one, you go to Mombasa, or when you do the third one, you go somewhere in another part of the country, because you never know what you're going to find in Naivasha, for example.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Or
Yeah.
Mombasa or Kisauni or any of these other small parts. Any of that in mind in future?
What I know is this will be an annual event.
Okay.
So we won't actually, on the day of the conference, we shall be announcing the next date in 2025, so that we start planning early and we start engaging even these companies early enough. And depending on the success of this one, I'm sure most people will start.
You're finding yourself a permanent job now. A permanent job now. No, it's not bad. It's not bad to have a permanent job. A year goes by and
look at it this way.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Kenyans doing business, serious businesses in the UK.
I know.
So if we are able to get these companies to partner and transfer even skill and knowledge to the companies in Kenya.
I know somebody who has a garage in Rainham. Is from Kenya.
Yeah.
But like I said, to convince him that this garage you can actually go and create another huge garage in Kenya. There is that element, because we were talking one day and I said, look, this entire garage, because they specialized in the Ford cars, it could easily, he has tractors, he repairs most of this. This thing could happen in Kenya. But then he was saying, no, the thing is, yes, it can happen, but we need to get the concept that the white person is much better. If he goes there, it's that constant, because they said when he tried something, and I know even in Uganda, Nigeria, it's the same. A white man can walk in. I'm not being racist here, but and he succeeds. Where you, as a black person, go in your own country and you want to do something, and there is that strangeness. No, it won't work.
That perception is changing.
How do we need to get that out of our system?
Because business is business.
Exactly,
whether it's coming from a Kenyan, whether it's coming from a British, business is business, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I can tell you, many years ago, tourism in Kenya was mainly for the international investors, and maybe Lydia can bear me witness. We only thought that tourism can only be by, international investors. Yes, or just international, investors. I mean, international tourists. But what happened over the years? The locals, Kenya realized that even there was more business in tourism from the locals. If you see the weekends in Kenya, the way
the locals now
enjoy tourism, it's just amazing. So the same thing when it comes now to business. We need now, this is the first time we are doing this, so we are starting these conversations. And showing them that it's possible, it can be done. You can expand into Kenya. So you have your base here, but you can expand into Kenya.
Have you got in a year or 2 years to come, some kind of say, look, I think I need to take this to a schools level, and you go to the schools to try and promote not just this Kenya development that you're doing, but also to educate the masses on issues, especially like transport, like tourism. It's all a question of education. People have learned that. It used not to happen. Now the same thing can apply to business.
Yes.
You can go and actually go to schools or go to colleges, or places for higher learning, and say, hey, we can invest here. We don't know. Where did the British go to invest? Why would they come here? They invested in their own country. Why can't you invest in ours? You can do that. The education could be part of it.
That's a very key point. It's something to think about. Yes.
Lydia?
I just wanted to ask Mary, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask in regards of vetting, because I know that is one area, that's why a lot of people, especially in diaspora, are very skeptical when it comes to investing back home. Because as much as we've been duped by our own families, friends, neighbors, we're friends, we've also been duped by companies as well. We do have a lot of companies that they will even set up a website. Everything will look legit, but they're actually not legit. So in terms of vetting, what do you have in place for your shareholders?
Right. So we've onboarded some people who deal with legal advice. And I would highly recommend anyone who is going to invest in Kenya, I always say, just go a step further and involve your legal advisors or your solicitors or your lawyers. Let them do some background checks for you.
Insurance as well.
And mainly let the lawyer, just get to know these people better. And sometimes they even do physical
do
checks.
a kind of a background check, of the
Here
people,
we do for companies, yes.
Yeah, we do
for example,
company.
the companies that are going, we have to check, is the company legit, is it registered in company's house, all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they could still do the same in Kenya, I think, with the Kenyan companies as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have, because I know that we did have some lawyers that are also working with, they came over here as well for people who have been doomed to, they're helping people with family issues, family matters back home. So do you have those people on board as well that will be helping? Because sometimes, personally, let's say, giving an example of myself, I want to buy property. I don't have time to go and do all the due diligence. But if we have lawyers on board, even though, yes, of course, they're going to charge, which I'm happy to pay, do you have those on board as well to give people an opportunity to, so that, because I'll feel very comfortable if you introduce a lawyer to me, rather than me going to find a lawyer from Kariako, and probably they don't even exist.
Yeah. So actually, we work very well with Kogweno advocates.
Yeah.
Kogweno and Ruby. I think I saw them during your event, Kenyans in the Park.
Yes.
So I know they will be participants in the upcoming trade mission. We have a few very credible firms that we usually recommend.
Okay.
Yeah, that we've worked with in the past.
The government, when it comes in and you talk to them, you sit with them, you come up, because of course hosting such an event like this, you can't do it without the presence of the government giving it its boost and support. The people you are dealing with within the government, you're not finding any difficulties at all in terms of what you want to put across and what the government message should be all about, because this is where most Africans really find difficulties sometimes. But if everything is smooth, then it's fine.
Life will never be smooth. I wish it was.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Like I said, we are working with several government bodies. And the current administration, especially that we have currently, I know they are very keen on promoting economic, anything economic. So I think we've received support. I can't fault. They've given us.
They've given all the support as far as this is concerned.
It is to everyone's benefit.
Exactly.
If business gets into the country, isn't it? I mean, if the investors get into the country, it's to everyone's benefit, really. Yes. So
there is the East African investment bodies that are also keen on these issues, whereby one thing will come into Tanzania or Kenya, and somebody else will also want that thing to go somewhere else. Any thought of probably trying that as well in future?
I've already received a request from one country, actually. And they were saying, Kenya, watching what you're doing in Kenya. But look, intertrading between all these countries is good for us. Because it creates, the marketplace then becomes very busy. And that is what we want. Yes. A busy marketplace.
A busy market creates employment, creates a resource, creates the resources, and creates everything. Everything comes out of that. Everything comes out of that. Lydia, you got something else as well? Lydia, are you still with us?
Yeah, there with you. I'm always here with you. I just wanted to ask Mary as well. I know you did ask this question before, but I don't think it was answered. For her to, because it's always good to give honor where honor is due. So I was thinking, if we give Mary this chance of this opportunity to thank or name the investors that are with our sponsor and also her team behind the success of this event. Because for me, the event is successful already. So I'm giving thanks to my team for a successful event already.
You're dealing with the professional.
Thank you.
Kenyan in the Park. she's 20 miles maybe ahead of you.
Lydia saw me start in this country, and she has given me I started going to Kenyans in the park back in 2016.
Wow.
I believe, yes.
Yeah.
Every year we participated.
Yeah.
So I've watched her also. She's also part of my mentors.
I know.
Because I've seen how she's, put her mind onto something and how she's gone for it and executed it. For example, the Kenyans in the park this year.
Yeah.
Did you see how successful that was?
Listen,
it was amazing.
I was even asking her, I said, are you married? Are you married? Do you look you're the sort of person. Look at how she's looking. No, let's go back to this. Let's get back to this. The question she asked, you remember?
So maybe
it's something
I can see on the screen as well. My producers have shared something. I know probably you can't see. I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah.
So they're sharing right now is the UK Trade Mission 2024.
Yeah, the link. Yes. And there is also the Mount Kenya Safari link where you can just go direct to the link. So I highly, humbly request people to book for this trade mission. You want to go and, network, form new partnerships. If you have a business in the UK, there is no better place than being in that conference because you will definitely benefit.
Even if you don't have a business, and
you're
actually going for, it's like a small holiday.
It's like a small holiday.
You're going there and
business and
exactly business and pleasure. So you get there, and then there could be something that could prompt your brain to come up with something. So most ideas have come into areas where you least expect them. And then you said, I'm glad I came.
Absolutely. And remember, we have Kenyan companies showcasing where the opportunities are. So we have people even here who are in the UK, and I know this because I've experienced it. People who are just sitting on money, don't know what to do with it, too scared to move, and are just sitting on money. So what I'm saying is, come, just come and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Even get ideas, get different ideas, and also network, and form new partnerships. Expand into new markets. And there's no better market to expand than your motherland market.
I understand.
Yes.
Your team, the team that you have, how big is it?
I have a brilliant team. I work with around 8 people. So we have two non-executive directors, and we have head of IT, marketing manager. The rest are more administrative.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because that in itself, if you have team players, then I can see success already before before it even begins. If it's that. It's the question of maybe the sponsors and so on. If you're looking at those who have.
So maybe I might.
Do you still need them?
We have spaces for sponsorship. Yes, we have still slots for sponsorships.
Okay.
And I want to actually thank the sponsors. Lydia had asked me to thank the sponsors. So I want to thank Kenya Airways, our national carrier. Very proud of it. They're offering a 10% discount if you're going to the trade mission.
To the trade mission.
Yes, so we have a special code. If you can just drop it also, Lydia, the special code on the link that leads you to the landing page with the special code. So they're offering a whole 10%.
I could go there and go to you and then go and visit you.
Yes, why not? Yes.
When you're getting a ticket cheaper.
Exactly.
That's only me speaking. I always find opportunities of this nature.
Please book. Please book with them. Take advantage of the. I think they're the lowest in their, currently.
Okay.
Because I know we had done some research, and with the 10% discount. It's also low season, so the tickets are not as dear.
No, because of the period, the time period.
Yes. So that is also maybe a plus. People can reconsider that. So I want to thank Kenya Airways. I also want to thank KCB Bank. They've been really supporting us. I want to thank some real estate companies. For example, we have Unity Homes. We have Finsco Africa. We have companies like Superior Homes. There are a few companies that have really supported. We also have like the legal team,
Okay.
Kogweno and advocates, you know, they are also supporting us. And yeah, and we also have other companies in Kenya that are also supporting us. We are in talks with many other companies.
Yeah.
So yeah, we highly, we will appreciate if you express your interest in being one of our sponsors.
Yeah. Now, over here in the UK, I'm a Kenyan, and I'm trying to find out, and I don't even know about this. And okay, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Ghanaian, because since this is open to the whole of Africa, how have you broadened it up to other parts of the other nationals from Africa in the diaspora?
Social media.
Yeah, because there could be a Nigerian somewhere with a lot of money, but he's thinking, I could invest in Kenya, but you know, your social media, as you're saying.
Yes, but we've also reached out to some of the trade attaches of different
African embassies,
African embassies. Yes. So some of them we're waiting for responses.
Yeah. Okay. So you've covered all the areas.
We're trying to, and I think Lydia knows that when we put our minds onto something, we try our best and ensure that we not only achieve but surpass.
Yeah, it surpasses.
The expectations.
It's implemented 100%.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, for my cutting short before we finish, because time is running out.
Yeah.
And we don't want to also take too long, and then our clients will be like, oh, thank you so much, Mary. You've been on point. And what I want to say is, I know Steve say this, even if you're not investing, you're not sure yet, you're not ready yet, just go. Just go, because remember, knowledge is power. And only power, like I said before, if implemented. If you don't implement the knowledge, then it's of no good use.
Correct.
But it's always good to go and then prepare your mind, and then now you're thinking, okay, even budget-wise, can I afford this? When can I afford this? Then you start putting things in perspective when you're ready to invest. So even if you think, I'm not ready yet, just go and see what's out there for you. Then you can start planning. Because remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. Let me say that again. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So I'll just encourage everybody to go. And one thing I want to tell diaspora, I know there are videos that go around, some people crying and saying, I sent money to this person, they ate it. This is the time we don't want to hear that. If you send money back home and somebody ate it, please just go and cry in your room. Don't tell the public. Because we have so many information out there. You know, before, we didn't have people like that. Before, we didn't have internet. So we didn't have all this information out there. So they used to eat our money. But now, there's so many information out there. There's Mary here trying to tell you, I can actually introduce you to a legit company for you to invest. But you still think, oh, let me send money back home. Imagine you sending 1 million. You're sending 1 million to somebody who's never touched 10 pounds. What do you expect? Do you really expect that person to go and invest this 1 million for you? They will be tempted because they've never touched this kind of money. So for us to have a peace of mind, and we work so hard in diaspora, there's so much work, connect with the right people. And right now we have Mary here who has all the information, and she's working with legit, genuine companies. So guys, I will encourage you 100%. Be there, be square, but be there. We're running out of time, so I'll leave it to Steve. And Mary.
You've heard it from a professional, a very proper professional who goes that. Now, the issue has always been when women look at successful women, sometimes there's that fear factor. And then there is that element. How does this woman manage to do this? I mean, we live in a world now which is open up to anything. If you talk about your background a little bit and say the kind of places you've been to and the way you push this. I mean, I know there's a professional sitting on camera somewhere there who has gone through all this. But there is always that example that women want to know how successful women, how to become a successful woman. And I'm sure there's something somewhere. There's a woman out there who might need some tips on this issue.
I think really is setting your mind onto something and ensuring it's executed. it's setting your mind on a course. This is where I want to go.
Yeah.
And navigating the steps toward.
Making sure that all the objects in front of you are kicked out.
You go under them, around them, you know, but that is your destination. And, you know, so if, you know, anyone else who is out there and wants maybe to achieve.
Yeah.
And I think Lydia could agree with me on this, is it's never easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But you need to stay the course until you finish. It is never done until it is done.
Margaret Thatcher used to say, the former British Prime Minister, she said, look, I was telling other women that when you look at men, look at the way the men do things, you learn a lot than looking at other women. Was she right? No, she wasn't right.
It's a story for another day.
It's a story for another day. Okay, I just want to say thank you very much for viewing us, and I hope you'll be with us again next week for another edition.
Maybe just my parting shot would be Kenyans for Kenya.
Kenyans for Kenya.
Kenyans out there. Kenyans for Kenya.
Not Africans for Africa.
This time, I'll start with Kenyans for Kenya. And see you at the Trade Mission in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah, on 1st of October.
Okay.
All the way to the 3rd
Mary
of October.
Njonjo, thank you very, very much for coming to the show and telling us all about it. And I hope you're going to be, well, personally, if the money comes my way, I'll come down and you know, spend some time there. Thank you very much for viewing us, and I look forward to being with you again next week for another edition. And I hope next edition, Lydia will be here anyway. Thank you, and may God bless you all.